Dolphin cruises in Orange Beach all sound the same until you're standing on the dock trying to figure out which one is actually worth it. Prices range from budget-friendly rides to nearly $100, and the experience can change everything from quiet bay views to dolphins riding your wake at sunset. I ranked 10 cruises from basic to unforgettable to help you decide what's actually worth booking before you spend anything, and the top pick isn't what most people expect. 10. Sunny Lady Dolphin and Sunset Cruises. Sometimes you don't need a big show, just dolphins and water. The Sunny Lady runs a relaxed $39 trip through Wolf Bay. 90 minutes that feels more like a boat ride with friends than a tourist excursion. It's family owned, which shows in the small details: an air-conditioned cabin, real restrooms, and a snack bar stocked with drinks and bites instead of overpriced concessions. You won't get fireworks here, but that's sort of the point. If you want chaos and competition, that's further down this list. If you want 15 minutes of watching a fin slice through the water while someone hands you a cold drink, start here. It's the cruise you book when you just want the bay to do its thing. No script required. Coming in at number 9 though, the experience gets a little more hands-on. 9. Big Fun Dolphin Cruise and Sea Life Experience. What's in the live well today? Nobody knows until the deckhand pulls it out. Maybe a crab, maybe shrimp, occasionally a sea urchin that gets passed around so kids can actually hold it. This is big fun, the cheapest entry on this whole list at $30, but it doesn't feel cheap once you're petting a crab someone just scooped out of the bay. The 2-hour cruise covers the same dolphin spotting as everywhere else, but it throws in a hands-on sea life lesson and an optional water battle at the end. Optional matters here. Stay dry in the cabin if you want, or join the fight if you don't mind getting soaked. Either way, you're getting more activity per dollar than most of the boats on this list. Number 8 turns the dolphins themselves into the main event. 8. Alabama Gulf Coast Dolphin Cruise. Ever notice how some dolphins seem like they're showing off? At $34, this cruise leans into exactly that. Dolphins riding the wake behind the boat like it's their personal playground. You'll catch this one departing near Tiki and Raw Bar, and depending on the day, your boat might cross paths with another crew out on the water. When that happens, things occasionally turn into a water battle, splashing strangers included. It's not guaranteed, and it almost never happens on the Sunset Run, but when it does, cameras come out fast. Here's something fun before we move on. One boat later on this list is named after the entire scientific family that includes dolphins and whales. Drop your guess in the comments. I'll confirm it when we get to my pick for the single best cruise on this entire list. For now, dolphins take a back seat to something rarer: 2 boats moving in sync. 7. Dolphin watching aboard the Cold Mill Fleet. Picture 2 boats cruising side by side, both wakes merging into one, and dolphins using that combined wave to launch themselves into the air. That's the entire premise behind the Cold Mill Fleet, home of what they call the double surf, and the sighting here isn't a maybe, it's promised. The cruise runs 60 to 90 minutes through calm Back Bay water, $35 a person, with a guide narrating while you watch for fins breaking the surface. Therefore, you're not hoping for a glimpse between trees or distant ripples, you're watching dolphins perform inches from the hull. It's a small specific trick, but it works because it's consistent. You don't roll the dice on this one. Next up, the price barely moves, but what's served on board changes the whole experience. 6. Dolphin Cruise in Orange Beach, Alabama. No guesswork this time. Departing from Happy Harbor Marina, this cruise guarantees a dolphin sighting on every single run, and at $34.25, it undercuts almost everything else on this list. The 2-hour tour comes with a full snack bar on board: sandwiches, soft drinks, candy, chips, ice cream, plus beer, wine, and mixed drinks if you're not driving home right after. You can even bring your own cooler for non-alcoholic drinks, so nobody's stuck paying boat prices for water. A certified guide narrates the whole thing over beach music, which sounds gimmicky until you realize it actually works. It turns a wildlife tour into something that feels like a party with a guaranteed wildlife cameo. Therefore, this isn't the cheapest option, but it might be the best value once food and drinks are factored in. The next tour trades the snack bar for something nature lovers will actually prefer. 5. 2-hour Dolphin and Nature Eco Tour from Orange Beach. Most boats can't go where this one goes. The Explorer only needs 16 to 18 inches of water underneath it, so it slips into creeks and swamps that bigger cruise boats simply can't reach. At $37.50 for 2 hours, you're not just hunting dolphins, you're watching for osprey nests, herons, bald eagles, and even red-tailed hawks along the banks. But the dolphins are still the headline, and this tour backs that up with an actual promise. If you don't see one, your next trip is free. That's not marketing fluff, that's the operator betting on their own waterway knowledge. Therefore, this works best for anyone who wants their wildlife tour to feel less like a cruise and more like an actual expedition. If you're ready to see these creeks and dolphins in person, I've linked the best current flight and hotel deals in the description below to help you book for less. Coming up, the same boat but timed for the sky instead of the water for Orange Beach Dolphin Sailing Cruise aboard catamaran. There's a difference between riding on a boat and actually sailing one. This 52-foot catamaran skips the engine noise for wind power, and the twin hulls keep the ride remarkably smooth even when the wind picks up. At $50, you're paying more than half the list, but you're getting a completely different kind of motion, gliding instead of cutting through water. Wildlife doesn't disappear just because the engine does. Schools of fish trail the hulls, dolphins still come to investigate, and bald eagles and herons show up along the wharf waterway often enough that cameras stay out the whole trip. This boat happens to share its name with something you'll need for that earlier riddle, though I'm not telling you yet. One more clue, it's named after the entire group of marine mammals that includes dolphins and whales. Same boat returns later in this list, dressed for sunset. 3. Dolphin in Nature Sunset Cruise from Orange Beach. Same shallow hull, same hidden creeks, but now the lighting changes everything. This sunset version of the Explorer runs the identical route through swamps and backwaters, only timed so the entire ride ends in gold instead of daylight. At $50, the price matches the daytime version exactly, so you're not paying extra for the better light, you're just choosing when to go. Dolphin sightings are still promised, and you'll likely spot the same cast of characters too: bald eagles, herons, schools of fish breaking the surface, and even alligators along the banks if you're paying attention. But sunset changes how all of it reads. A heron silhouetted against orange water looks completely different than one in flat afternoon sun. Therefore, the question isn't whether to book this tour or the daytime one, it's which mood you're chasing for your trip. 2 spots left and the price finally starts climbing for real. 2. Orange Beach Island's 3-hour excursion. $94 sounds steep until you see what's actually happening on this boat. The Orange Beach Island's excursion departs from Zeke's Landing and Marina and anchors off Bird Island, where you can swim, sunbathe, or just float before heading back. At $94, it's the priciest tour on this list, but it's also the only one built around BYO drinks, cooler, ice, cups, and a bottle opener included. You bring whatever you want to drink, virgin or otherwise, and they handle the rest. This isn't a sit and watch experience like most of the cruises above it. It's small too, capped at just 6 travelers per trip, so it feels more like a private outing than a tour. Therefore, the price makes more sense once you stop comparing it to a dolphin cruise and start comparing it to renting your own boat for an afternoon. 1 spot remains, and it brings back a boat you've already met. 1. Orange Beach Sunset Sailing Cruise. Remember that mystery boat from a few minutes ago? You're standing on its deck again, except now it's timed for sunset instead of daylight. This $75 sail traces the same waters near Perdido Key, Florida, except the twin hulls glide through gold instead of glare, and the whole 2-hour trip builds toward one specific moment: the sun dropping into the Gulf. The stability that made this boat feel calm earlier now makes it feel cinematic. No rocking, no spray, just a slow turn toward the horizon while ospreys and herons drift overhead one last time. Therefore, this isn't really competing with the other 9 tours on this list, it's competing with the version of your trip you'll actually remember a year from now. If you've been guessing the boat's name this whole time, you're about to get your answer. That mystery boat is called the Cetacean, named after the very family of animals it sails out to find, dolphins and whales, which feels fitting for the cruise that ends this list with a sunset instead of a guess. If you enjoyed this video, you'll love this next one.